Well, good morning, everybody. It feels like it has been forever, but it hasn't. Just a couple of days. And Amba is back. Sugar Mom is here. Good morning, Casper Friendly, Aaron, Gaelic. I think I caught everybody else in the pre-party. Hello, AV. Just Cat says, I have an echo. Well, I have nothing. Does anyone else hear an echo? Because I don't have anything open. Minky said, I've missed everyone. I've missed you too. We had some company come into town, and so we had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. Our friend Gina came in. She's getting a job around here, and we ate a lot of food, watched a lot of TV, and, that's just how it went. But she is off to her new job, and, life gets busy, as you know. Hello, nature lover. Carly said, I've missed you a lot. I've missed you too. Woo! This is huge, guys. This is huge. And I am just, when Brandy sent me this article, do you ever see something where you just instantly bust into tears? That was me when I received this. Because Michael deserves justice. His parents deserve justice. They want their son. They want their son. Let's take a second and tell everyone hello, howdy, hola, how you doing? The family deserves justice. The community deserves justice and safety. His siblings, the schools, and most of all, Michael. Because what has happened here is beyond sickening. Sickening. And I have the absolute faith in this law enforcement, the FBI, the ISP, the mountain rangers, Fruitland. The chief has had his heart and soul in this case from day one. Let's go through some of your comments from the last show, shall we? Predecessor said, Brooks, when Brandy is visiting your channel, I can tell she feels comfortable, safe, and loved. Because she is. We love her. We love Tyler. We love the kids, even ornery little Elsa. Divine Timing said, I pray to God he comes home. I've tried to get awareness out for him too. I share his picture all the time. Every time I see Michael's photo or a video up, I get so sad and depressed. And I understand that. But I believe, not today, not tomorrow, we're about to have a big breakthrough. Lisa Mount said, I was reading online what to do when a child goes missing. It was shocking to see how many people, most people, wait too long to call because of what they have heard or learned. But I get what you're saying. But a parent's instinct, after they've checked the usual suspects, like, where your child plays in the treehouse, or your child would be in the kitchen getting something to eat, outside playing on their Power Wheel, at their friend's house, riding their bike. You've checked those things. Then you call. And that's exactly what happened here. Kamari said, we stand with Brandy and Tyler. Kitty Laughlin said, it's just heartbreaking. Law enforcement has got to get fresh eyes on this case. I think about this family and Michael always. Prayers raised up for results on Michael. Well, your prayers were answered. We did not need fresh eyes. They've been working the entire time. That's the finicky thing about law enforcement. They don't tell us what they're doing. When you call in a tip and people say, but they're not doing anything with it, because that tip is one small piece of the puzzle. It takes a very long time to put together the truth. Think about it when you know someone is bold-faced lying to you. How long does it take you to put together what the truth really is? Obviously, this is a little different because the truth has to be proven to a jury. And in this case, it's going to go to a grand jury. And I would love some microwave justice too. I would love it done so fast. Get it done, get it over. Doesn't work that way. So before I get to the article, let's bring up our very good friend, Level-Headed. He has done amazing work on this case and is always there for Tyler, Brandy, the kids, and especially for Michael. Let's have a big round of applause for our friend, Level-Headed. Well, good morning, my friend. What a journey this has been.
Good morning. It has been one heck of a journey.
You and I met from this case.
We did.
But I didn't realize I was already talking to someone else you know through the Harmony case. So, wow, how connected the true crime community when you actually care about victims is and how tight the friendships are made.
Yeah. You run across a lot of different people that you have no idea that are talking to one another.
It's like the 6 degrees of separation, is it not?
Yeah, pretty much.
Dolores said we are Brandy and Tyler Strong. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to read the article. This came out a couple of days ago from the Argus Observer. The public may soon know a portion of the outcome of a law enforcement investigation related to missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughan, as the prosecutor does expect to file charges, but has not stated what those might be. We don't know what they're going to be. And not all 4 suspects, in my opinion, are going to get the same charges. Here are the suspects. Here are their glamour shots. To the left, in the orange t-shirt, is Sarah Wondra. Underneath her is her husband, Stacy. To the right is Adrian. To the bottom of him is Brandon. As far as we know right now, those are the suspects according to law enforcement. And I have a feeling they have a couple of other unnamed suspects. I'm not done with Cesar Garudo. And Brandon and Adrian, I know you're listening. The first to talk is the first to walk. You're going to hear a jail cell. You will. But do you want to get out before, or do you want to sit there? Payette County Prosecutor Mike Duke told the Argus Observer, I expect to charge it, but there are a lot of complexities, and I'm being careful with that. You see, it's hard enough to convince one person of what you're talking about. But 12 is a different story. So he is taking this to the grand jury. The recommended charges and reports have gone to the prosecutor and they are waiting for the grand jury. It appears charges are forthcoming in the near future. As for Sarah Wondra, she was sentenced on unrelated charges and will be remaining in custody at this time. It is unknown as to whether she is included in the grand jury file. My guess is she probably is. I have a feeling Stacy's in it. I have a feeling Brandon's in it. I have a feeling Adrian's in it. And we're only giving opinions and guessing here because I don't work for the DA's office or Fruitland PD or the FBI. Wouldn't that be amazing? What do you think, Level?
Yeah, I tend to stick with facts from law enforcement. Having this much information that's been handed over to the prosecutors and taking this long to go over everything definitely means that there's a lot of evidence, a lot of different things that have leads that may have turned into nothing and leads that may have turned into something. And law enforcement always tries to weed out all of the speculation or leads that lead to nothing. And having the prosecutors having a document or a file of information to go over in order to charge people is something telling that somewhere along the line they came across some things.
100%. Dakota Parker has a question. Dakota said, what I don't understand is what was the motive? What did these awful people get out of this? I'm going to I don't have my filter on today. I'm going to let Level handle that question.
I don't know what the motive is. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, living in the neighborhood where they lived, if they're in fact the ones that obviously you're innocent until proven guilty, and as more things come out, people will see the ones that are guilty in this situation. But what is the real motive? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait until more information comes out.
Because we don't know if it's Brandy's walking Elsa right now, so she's not listening. We don't know if it's pedophilia, if they were looking for child trafficking, if Stacy and Sarah just wanted a child. We don't know.
Yeah.
We know that we have a very strange timeline from them. Let's go through some of what built up to July of 2021. March 17th, 2021. Hey, this is Sarah Wondra, owner of Faith Taxi LLC in Fruitland, Idaho. We are going to be rapidly growing, so please, if you have a car and are in the Treasure Valley, even all the way to Boise, I'm going to be needing possible part-time drivers for now. Work on your own availability. Use your own car. Keep your own proceeds. 1099. Be your own boss in a sense. We work a bit differently around here than your typical taxi. Please, no messages on this post. So you're supposed to direct message her. Well, they can use their own damn car to give out rides. They don't need to split the proceeds with Sarah and Stacy. This is the beginning, in my opinion, of what they were trying to do. Don't call that tip into anyone. It's just my opinion. Because birds of a feather flock together, and as we know, some very weird critters message them saying, yeah, I can give rides. So you're a taxi that says use your own car, use your own insurance, and I'm just going to tell you where to go and you're going to give me part of the money. Would that be a deal you would take, Level?
No. So basically, by me reading what this is saying is basically you're an Uber or a Lyft, and basically without the background reports or checking into somebody, on who you're hiring, even as a 1099 or hiring as a subcontractor, or however you want to see this, is that basically, I don't care what your past is, I don't care who you are, we're just going to have you drive for us, and you can pick up anybody, and you can be the worst of the worst of people out there. It doesn't matter. Well, you can give anybody a ride. That's how I'm reading this.
That's exactly what it says. Then, July 11th, 2021, so a couple of weeks before Michael was abducted, and yes, he was abducted. I don't care what other channels say. I listen to what the FBI says. I listen to what law enforcement says. Because as I have said on this channel many times before, do you know how many cases I have solved? It's a round number, 0. Warrants I've served, 0. CCTV I have subpoenaed, 0. Fingerprints I have lifted, 0. DNA that I have researched as if I could, 0. So we have to follow what law enforcement is doing. It's a very round number. Level, how many cases have you solved?
0.
Okay.
So
We're in good company.
Yeah.
Sarah Wondra in Fruitland, Idaho, July 11th, 2021. Laundry services offered. So she wanted people to bring her their dirty drawers, and she had basically a wash, dry, fold business where she charged by the pound. Level, would you want Sarah washing your boxers?
No.
Okay.
Would you?
No. No, and I'm pretty lazy about laundry. The day before Michael disappeared, Stacy, who is Sarah's husband, said, I'm feeling really worried about my wife, Sarah Wondra. I brought her to the emergency department in Ontario, Oregon. She's not feeling good at all. She's having a lot of pain in her side of her stomach. Please be praying for my baby that she feels much better. I love you, baby. Feel better. Now, we're only going to give an opinion here. Do you think she really went to the ER, or do you think this was a ruse?
When was this? July 26, 2021?
Yes, the day before. Because she was obviously fine on the 27th.
Well, so I don't know. So I have never checked into this, but I don't know. I know places that I've lived that there's a difference between ERs, like emergency rooms at a big, huge hospital, and like, what do they call them now? Urgent care, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Well,
mean, is this a thing where they would...
he said
Go ahead.
emergency department, so that would be the hospital. Wherever he took her, I don't care if he took her to the local vet, there's going to be a record.
Yeah.
This is setting up an alibi, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
Interesting.
The 27th, when Michael was abducted, there was 0 activity on Stacy's Facebook, Sarah's, their TikToks, any of the suspects. But on the 28th, Sarah Wondra shared an article from the Argus Observer, Fruitland Boy 5 missing since Tuesday night. Now, they are active posters, okay? If you don't see me post on Facebook for a while, no harm, no foul, because I really don't. I really don't use it. But they do. They do. Then Stacy on August 1st, so that was the 28th, 29, 30, 31, 4 days later, he changes his picture to that of Michael.
It's interesting.
Brandy is scouring the neighborhood, and is Tyler, handing out flyers, knocking on doors. Have you seen my son? Have you seen my son? Have you seen my son? Sarah took a picture with Monkey's flyer on the refrigerator. Then we have more of a gap in time. Okay? Because on August 12th, these two fit individuals decided to go treat themselves to a big, giant pile of fries and a hamburger.
That was on what day? August 12th?
Mm-hmm. Then she had another ER incident in August. Supposedly it was kidney stones. I don't know. I doubt it. Then they decide to go down to the Southwest to get a dog, if what I'm reading is correct. Yet we have another hospital issue where Sarah Wondra on October 6, 2021 says got to Melrose, New Mexico, and now I believe cuz C-U-Z of elevation, Stacy Wondra can't breathe and have the ambulance coming to check him out. Please pray. I don't think there was ever an ambulance. No. So after going to the middle of nowhere, New Mexico, we get back on the Jesus train. There's tons of TikToks where we're talking about Jesus, 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 Jesus. Sarah posted this when they got back. She said, "Stop murdering babies for your own good. God will not see this as your body, your choice. He sent them to you and you rejected his little gifts. He will see it as rebellion and sin and evil. So turn from your sins, confess them to God, run to Jesus and ask for forgiveness, that you might be saved and sin no more. Walk in his Holy Spirit. He will give you. You can be forgiven, but is it about to be too late for even that? So please don't wait. Ask God to forgive you." Who's she talking to? Herself? She was begging Brandon to give her a baby. So what is she going off about, Level?
I don't know. That's an odd post. I mean, I know everybody here probably has some form of social media, and you just don't bring a post like this for no reason.
Mm-mm.
I mean, wow, that's out there.
Oh, she's projecting. Then she says, "Watch out. You are walking into traps. Guard your children. Take it from me, I promise." That was November 2nd of 2021.
Another interesting post. I mean, you just don't go looking for something to post to say that.
She said, "Take it from me, I promise."
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I mean,
I
kind of
hope
obvious.
it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
All right, so as promised in July of 2023, they were sending the probable cause to the prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor has it. And they said, charges are coming. Let's go through the news clip that we watched together back in July.
Today marks 2 years since 5-year-old Michael Monkey Vaughan went missing from his home in Fruitland. Fruitland Police Department said today on Facebook they have submitted a case to the Payette County Prosecutor. In this case, a prosecutor would review a probable cause affidavit and decide whether or not to take the case before a judge. If there's enough evidence, a judge can issue an arrest warrant. We don't know what's in that affidavit, though. On July 27th of 2021, Michael Vaughan was reported missing from his front yard. He hasn't been seen since. Police later announced 4 suspects they believe know something about his disappearance. The Fruitland Police Department has also searched the home and excavated the backyard of a neighbor after a specialty trained dog hinted at human remains. However, none were found. Michael's mom issued a statement today. Brandy Neal said, "It has been very hard for us this past month. Everything feels like the day Monkey went missing all over again. It's so hard every day, but for days like these, birthdays, Halloween, Christmas, everything without Michael here is heartache. We stand strong with law enforcement, the community, and family." If you have any information about Michael's whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Fruitland Police Department.
And they did. And they reported this week that charges are coming. All right, everybody, I want as many virtual hugs, prayers, thoughts, however you do it, to come to our friend Brandy. She's backstage. We know the war she's been battling for over 2 years. The war Tyler's been battling. Their children. And we're going to bring her up. Let's have a huge round of applause. Blue hearts, light it up for our friend Brandy. Brandy Strong is here. Hey, Brandy.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So you were walking Elsa. How's Elsa doing?
Oh, she's so big and it's cold outside. So if I'm sniffly, I apologize, everyone. She's 42.5 pounds and she'll be 6 months old on the 4th. Yeah, the 4th.
Wow. Yeah, they get big fast.
She's a big girl.
So how excited were you when you saw the article, but you probably already knew before, that charges are coming forward, or was it a different type of feeling?
It was a different type of feeling, and actually the detective, 2 hours prior to that article coming out, the detective came and saw me at work, and we stepped outside and, exchanged a few tears, and that whole day, it was just a whirlwind once again, and just every time something new comes out, it's like a ton of bricks. It's like you're going 100 miles an hour and you hit a brick wall, to be honest.
How many brick walls do you think you've hit since July of 2021?
Countless. Every time she's been in court on unrelated charges, I've been there. And just to see her it makes every emotion that a human could possibly have come up. A lot of anger, for sure. So I've lost track of how many times that I felt like my whole world's crashing all over again.
I agree with Mermaid. She said, I can't even imagine. And I've seen people comment to Brandy and to Tyler saying, I know how you feel. Well, you couldn't possibly know.
No. I mean, you can empathize, yes, but unless you've actually had a loved one missing, you don't know. You don't know what you would do or how you would feel. Hi, Levi.
Hi. Well, that's one of the biggest things is that, you know, there's other people out there that each missing person or each abduction is different and processed differently, and by grieving people or the people that have hope, everything is processed by individuals differently. So to say that, oh, I've had a missing loved one, and to say that I know exactly how Brandy feels would be a false statement. You may have similarities in it, but you don't know how Brandy feels. Brandy feels how Brandy feels. Um, and that's been going on for a long time.
I think people just want to say the right thing.
That's true.
Correct. It's hard to find words to talk to somebody because I don't know, and I'll tell Brandy that every day. I don't know how she feels, but it's okay to not feel okay. So, a lot of people get lost in words on what to say, you know, because you don't want to say the wrong thing to somebody to be taken the wrong way. So,
It's difficult, you know, because people don't know what to say, and it breaks my heart to see them sad, and you know, because they don't know what to say, and those are some of the number one words that are told to me and Tyler all the time, or you know, like I don't know what to say to you, and now I just tell people I understand because I have no idea what to say, and I would not have no idea what to say to someone in my shoes, in our shoes.
And you have met families of that are in your situation. Do you know what to say to them?
No, um, just try to be encouraging, keep the hope, help them, you know, hold their heads up, try to give them, you know, strength, and just try to listen. And if, you know, it's 4 a.m. and you need somebody to talk to, or just cry or scream because you're mad at the world, I'll listen. It's empathetic is the word I like to use right now.
YouTuber said, Brandy, it is so gracious of you being caring about others' feelings. I 100% agree, because if I was in this boat, I don't think I would be. I'd be mad at the whole damn world. I was actually watching a 2020 about Polly Klaas. Mark Klaas hated everybody, from law enforcement, his ex-wife, the kids that were at the slumber party, everybody, to the point where this is like the first case where we were following on social media. People were saying he must have had something to do with it. Of course, we know he didn't.
Right. They've been the Polly Klaas Foundation has been helping keep awareness out for Michael as well, which I'm very appreciative to them. But I understand that anger. There are some days I feel the exact same way. I don't want to be gracious. I don't want to be kind. I don't want to be nice. In those days, I try to hide away. I try my best. Or I have a very good very very good group of people that I can turn to. Brooks, of course, you are one of those. Levi is, and there's a few other people in that group that I can turn to and let my crazy hang out, I guess you could say. Kitty.
yeah, at all hours of the night. Yep.
Yeah. Usually that's when it hits the hardest, is when the world's asleep and your brain doesn't shut off. Your heart doesn't shut off.
You know, my phone's on all the time. This is obviously an opposite story, but it kind of compares. When my mother was dying of cancer, Okay.
Mhm.
She had an aunt that came by and tried to compare a mole she had to remove to my mother's kidney cancer. So here was me. Here was Brooks, knowing we had a hospice nurse and direct orders and everything going on, and I had to hear about Aunt Patty's fucking mole. No, I was not gracious that day. I lost my mind.
I will not lie. I've had those moments. I really have. And I've been excused for them, but there's really no excuse to be cruel or unkind. I mean,
Just vent. You know how to
yeah,
get hold of us. Vent.
right. Exactly. Kitty, go. No.
Well, there's some things that we were going to go through.
Well,
I
I'm
don't.
going to mute.
I don't expect you to watch them.
Mm. It's been a rough couple weeks. I'll tell you, sitting in that courtroom on the 6th, yeah, I was hoping she got longer, but at least I know there is going to be federal charges as well. So, for unrelated charges to Michael's case, of course.
Right.
But
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. They
exactly.
they have time to go through this. And that's something that some people can't understand because they're like, well, they dropped the charges. They dropped the charges. I'm like, did you miss that chapter in 8th grade civics? It's without prejudice. They're not
Mhm.
starting the clock yet because they've obviously come across other evidence. That's why it's going to go to a grand jury. They've already got her in jail. They've got Stacy in jail. I don't know. Brandon and Adrian are listening. So we can everyone say hi to Brandon and Adrian. Not you, Andy. And they know they're not going anywhere.
Right.
So they have time to get it done correctly.
Exactly. If I remember correctly, I believe at the time of when you are charged with something, they have 6 months to make those charges stick. If I remember correctly from talking with the attorney.
Right. So they don't want to hit that stopwatch when they feel like there's something else they can get.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm going to mute.
They've been investigating this for so long that all the resources that they've been using, a lot of agencies, a lot of people have come together to get this big, huge file that was handed over to the prosecutors. They want to make sure that when they do it, that it is done the right way and that things stick.
Exactly. I'm going to mute. Tyler's getting ready to head off to work for the morning, so I'm going to send him off on a happy day. But I'll be back.
And and we've heard it in so many other cases, and we've heard it over and over and over and over again. They're like, look, we don't want an arrest. We want a conviction. We want a conviction. Listen to Sarah's demeanor when she's being spoken to about covering up. I have to pick my adjectives a certain way. Just listen to what she says.
That you did on or about the 12th day of November of this year here in the state of Idaho fail to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughan, with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death.
Okay, she shakes her head. He says, you intended to prevent the discovery. You kept it under wraps. The death with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death. She seemed to forget what she said when the police busted into her house on the Friday before. Let's go through a little bit of what she said. According to court documents, police forced entry into the Wondras' home around 9:30 p.m. Friday. This was in November of 2022, where they found Sarah Wondra in the living room. She was detained and read a copy of the search warrant. When I got to the portion that read murder, she said, "Did you just say murder?" multiple times. A Fruitland police officer wrote in the affidavit. She also said, "I've never murdered anyone." Officials said Sarah Wondra maintained that she definitely did not kill that boy and that the Most High God already told me who did it. She reportedly told police, "Oh, wow, the Most High God just told me that Stacy was the one that killed him and buried him in the yard of the neighbor's house." Now, they dug up the yard of the neighbor's house and there was nothing there. When asked later to show police where he was buried, according to the affidavit, she told police of a spot near the entry of her residence, and she said Stacy had put him in the backyard by the shed. Mind you, that shed was never there before. It was a new shed. Police said by that point they had begun hand digging a portion of the yard based on information received. Sarah was arrested and told police, "God just told me that Stacy was the one who did it," adding that she knew the body was in the neighbor's yard because that's what Stacy just told me. She allegedly reiterated to police that she had nothing to do with Michael's disappearance. She said her husband buried Michael in the backyard by the shed, but wasn't the one who actually harmed the boy. She said instead that a man identified only as Adrian had been the one who had done it, and he was scared to tell anyone. Let's go back to the suspects so we know who we're talking about. First, she said Stacy. That would be the man on the bottom on the left. Then she said Adrian. That would be the man on the top right. The one she doesn't mention is the one she has the crush on, and that would be Brandon. What do you think, Level?
Well, I want to take back to the Almighty God. Is she referring to somebody that was in that house is the one that's telling her this information? And I just thought of this just now. What if that one person that has been living there the longest and after the fact of certain circumstances going on there at that house remained living there, which would be the man in the bottom right corner? And is she referring to them? I don't know. But
You think it's the man that she was begging to give her a baby that she was with, that we know for a fact all day on the day Michael disappeared? Because she took a lot of pictures of him. This is March 24th, 2022. Friend Brandon with our dog Oakley. He's laying there with his ass in the dog's face.
Yeah, I don't know.
Watch her again. She's shaking her head no.
Did on or about the 12th day of November of this year, here in the state of Idaho, fail to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughan, with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death.
We continue to follow developing news out of Payette County. Police made an arrest in connection to the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. The little boy went missing from his Fruitland home in July of 2021 when he was 5 years old. Police arrested 35-year-old Sarah Wondra for failure to report a death. Crews have been excavating the backyard of a home in a Fruitland neighborhood since Saturday. We now know that home is where Wondra has been living. We have team coverage from Payette County. News Channel 7's Abby Davis is outside the home in Fruitland where crews continue to dig in the backyard. But first, let's go to Alexandra Duggan outside the Payette County Courthouse in Payette, where Sarah Wondra was arraigned this afternoon. Alex?
Doug, today in court at 1:30, the state of Idaho alleges that Sarah Wondra on November 12th failed to notify police of a death. And they said that she covered up the way in which Michael Vaughan died. Now, we don't know if he has actually died. There's no confirmation from police just yet. Just know that investigators are still currently looking for his remains. That's what we've gathered from Fruitland police. And the judge also sealed the probable cause affidavit today in court, talking about why they arrested Wondra. Because they don't want to jeopardize a high case like this. And Huff said that he doesn't want to comment on that just yet. He wants to bring closure to the family in the right way, is what he told us just 20 minutes ago. He said the state said there are serious implications of Wondra being out and about and knowing about Michael's whereabouts for this entire year and a half that he has been missing. And in court, Wondra says she understands the charges that are being brought against her, but, you know, that quote, it is not correct. And Huff told us 20 minutes ago, like I said, they will not say if they have found Michael or not, and that they don't want to jeopardize the case, but it's their goal to recover him if needed. Back to you, Doug.
Alex, thank you there live from outside the Payette County Courthouse. Now let's continue our team coverage and head out to News Channel 7's Abby Davis. She is outside the home where crews have been excavating the backyard since Saturday. And Abby, it sounds like crews have just wrapped up for the day.
They have, Doug. That is right. They will actually be back in the morning, but as of now, you can see behind me, our photographer Logan will show you now. You can see that one heavy piece of equipment there. The rest of it has left. The other backhoe has left. The dump truck has gone. But they did resume this morning. They started early this morning excavating the entire backyard. This is a home that is just about 4 minutes away from the Vaughan family home. We can see everything is shut down. We have that police tape back there. There are some law enforcement officials still kind of gathered around talking. But we do have some video of what the scene looked like earlier while they were actively digging and searching. There was a dog on scene I also saw, and then I was told yesterday that once again they were excavating the entire backyard. That was their plan, and that they were going to dig 3 to 4 feet. Now they obtained a search warrant and started working Friday night. They are taking all of this dirt off site where it will be processed. That is what Chief J.D. Huff told us yesterday. Now, this all came after a very credible tip. That is what Huff said. It was a very credible tip that came from someone inside of the house. And he said that they have received over 1,500 tips so far, but this one was the one that led them to this house very close to the Vaughan family home.
And as we know, in November, the excavating did not find Michael. But in the press conference, they said they know that at some point he had been in the backyard. Now, we know that Sarah and Brandon were together the day that Michael disappeared. We know, according to Brandon, that Sarah wanted him to give her a baby. We've never heard from Stacy. I've only talked to Adrian on a limited basis, enough to know that he didn't meet anybody for lunch that day. Because if your story changes, it's not true.
Exactly. Every time I see that from KTVB, and I just start involuntarily shaking. I just living through all of that. I asked, Blue and Bubba's dad, because we have shared custody, and can they stay with you? I don't know how long this is going to be. And there was people driving up and down our street, stopping in front of our house, and I didn't want them to be around all of it. I didn't want them to hear what I was hearing. They knew what was going on, but I did not want them to have to feel that heartache. And I want to go back to something real quick.
Yes.
So, according to Shirtless, I don't, yeah, know you're listening, but so she says that Adrian hurt Michael, and Adrian was the one that did it, but weren't all three of you together all day long the day Michael went missing, allegedly?
You're 100% right, because she seems to protect Brandon, and Brandon is the one that she was trying to get on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Ugh, gross. That something clicked right there with me. Like, huh. And then Brandon's mother, Tina, her little statements. I'm still waiting for the attorney for slander, Tina.
And we have two set up for you. It's when you want to use your energy.
Exactly. Oh no, she was stating that because Brandon wasn't hiding, and that it was a witch hunt on her family. Well, why did humans remains dogs hit in your backyard?
Yeah, she said, "Oh, I'm so happy." She's like, "They prayed with me. I gave them water and I cooked them lunch." No, you didn't. They had work to do. And
exactly.
The dogs let me know I had a leaky toilet. No, that's not at all what happened.
Right. The head of the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, after her little statement came out and said, no, that's not what they're trained to do. And I've never seen these trained dogs do alert to human feces.
No, they know what to sniff.
Mm-hmm.
And on the first year press conference of Michael's disappearance, it was a jaw dropper for all of us that were together at that time when we heard the chief say there were multiple suspects. Here's a clip of it.
I'm not going to really get into too deep on the persons of interest, but I will tell you there are multiple. Okay.
Are there any people that you interviewed or searched that have been non-cooperative?
Yeah, there have been.
And they're still not cooperating.
Exactly.
They're still not cooperating.
That was the first me, Tyler, and Grandpa had heard that, and my stomach literally just fell to the floor. Like, who's not cooperating? What are you talking about?
Well, that's the thing is just because that they make a phone call to the police department after they show pictures of possible suspects or suspects in the case, just because they call the police department and the police department asks them questions and they refuse to say anything, or they get a lawyer, or they call to ask them what they want, doesn't mean that they're cooperating with them. And that's important for everybody here to understand, because I mean, if you're a suspect in something and you call to figure out what they're talking about, but they ask you questions over the phone, or you've made contact with them and you don't answer, or you have to, then where does that leave you? Like, that's not cooperation with law enforcement. And just because they made contact doesn't mean that they're checked off of all they're coming forth with information or anything. So
They are still suspects. All 4 of them are still named as suspects in Michael's abduction.
Yeah, both Adrian and Brandon, they made contact with the police in Fruitland, or the FBI or ISP. I don't know exactly what agency got a hold of them, but even on the Toledo, Ohio news, they said, in our area, Adrian Lucian is here, and he is a suspect in the case of Michael Vaughan. So they know who he is. They have eyes on them.
Yes, they do. For facts, they do.
So let's go through what Brandon, because we don't know, I'm not law enforcement, if Stacy was with Sarah that day. But I know Brandon was, because my conversations with Adrian don't add up. Brandon is the only one that admits to being with her that day.
Right. I want to see where those alleged TikTok videos you guys made. Where are they at? I'll mute myself.
The only one that has been posted, Cassie, it says your device is not connected. From the day Michael disappeared is this one posted on the Wanderous.
I think I figured out where that is.
Yeah, where is it? Because someone said it's on the way to Ontario, Oregon.
No, if that might be towards Vale on the backside, but I'm thinking that's towards New Plymouth, headed towards Boise area. That's the back way to head towards like Caldwell, Nampa, Boise area. If you go through New Plymouth, it's more scenic and all those hills like that, and it's nothing but farming fields. And the river would be on the other side, so that's where that looks like it is to me.
Slim said, "Never be silent, Brandy. Shout it from the rooftops."
Slim, I'm tired. I've been beat.
You haven't been
one foot in front of the other.
You haven't been beat. Britt said you can hear multiple voices in that video. Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
So these are Brandon's words. Hold on one second. Hey, Cassie, are you connected? Okay, you're connected now. What's going on, Cassie?
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Give
Okay.
your love to Brandy.
Hi, Brandy. I wanted to share a story with you about polyclass.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I lived in California then, and and it was after poly classes, passing and everything, after her being kidnapped. But I went to this workshop of her grandfather because he was in recovery and he wrote a book. I can say that because he wrote a book, so I'm not outing him.
Mm-hmm.
Polyclass's grandfather wrote a book called 12 Steps to Happiness. And he was telling us about, and I'm in recovery, he was telling us about when Polyclass was kidnapped. And he was saying that before, when he got sober, and he was on the step where you have to ask everyone for forgiveness that you have wronged. So he asked this man for forgiveness, and this man owned a TV station, and he used to work for him. He went there and he asked for forgiveness, and the man wouldn't forgive him. the man that owned the TV station.
Now,
And
before
so
you go on with the story, what does that have to do with Michael Vaughan?
I'm just talking about prayer and a miracle.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And the search. Okay, so he wouldn't forgive him. And so then when Polly Klaus went missing, he called him up and he said, you have airtime on my channel anytime. And that's when I don't know if anybody remembers when Polly Klaus went missing. The first prayer was at that TV station, and it was on live, and everybody got into a circle and prayed. And that was like hope to all the people that were searching for Polly. And it was like, and that's the first time we've ever seen a TV station loaning their TV station for any time they needed to come on there, and they did several times. And
we saw it when baby Jessica was in the well. We saw it with Susan Smith. We saw it with the children of Diane Downs. What do you mean it's the first time we've ever seen it?
No, I'm talking about that everybody got into a circle and prayed.
Oh, that's common. You may never seen it before, but yeah, we've seen that before.
On the TV station, and what
did you not see baby Jessica when she was in the well and people were in a circle praying?
Yes, but that's the first time I've ever seen so a connection with the TV station owner and the family. It was just beautiful how the words that they said. And then when they got into a circle and prayed, the grandfather said, I want to pray for the kidnapper. And I've seen that before too. I'm just saying that it was just a beautiful sight to see the connection between them.
Yeah, well, I'm not praying for these kidnappers because God only listens to prayers. And what that man did to that family and the accusations he made, and no, So I appreciate you coming up, though. Thank you.
I was praying for the kidnapper to bring her home.
Yeah,
it wasn't like asking for his, praying, for his heart, or it was like praying for his heart to bring her home.
I understand what you're saying.
As
a bigger person than I could be right now.
I was just trying to share that with hope. I didn't mean to upset anybody. I'm very sorry. Thank you for letting me come up.
Have a good day, Miss Cassie.
Thank you. Okay, so this is what Brandon said. Brandy, if you need to step down, I understand.
That day, I spent the night there because we came in towing my car from my mom's to their house. So we woke up and had breakfast and watched TV and coffee, and then we went, me and Sarah and one of her other friends that was there visiting for like a week or so because he came in from the airport. He was Adrian, and he had like kind of an afro, and we went and did kind of a YouTube video that day where we were trying to make music and kind of like a car crash scene.
Where's the video, Brandon? It's not like I don't know how to use the internet. Where's the internet? When I brought up Polly Klaus, I was talking about how her family was attacked, not to talk about the case. But I will say this right now. Her father failed a polygraph and was nowhere around the house. Elizabeth Smart, one of the FBI agents that worked on her case, has also worked on Michael's. I don't know if he's working on it now. Elizabeth Smart's uncle failed a polygraph. Richard Ricci, who was a handyman around the house, failed a polygraph. Fun fact, they actually polygraphed the two girls that were with Polly when she was abducted. One of the girls failed. Yet another reason why I could give a rat's ass about polygraphs. Ted Bundy passed about 25 of them.
They're visiting for like a week or so because he came in from the airport. He was Adrian and he had like kind of an afro. And we went and did kind of a YouTube video that day where we were trying to make music and kind of like a car crash scene.
Again, there is no internet footprints for this. None.
But he did say that one of their friends named Adrian, right? So
yeah, the guy that had the afro. He had kind of an afro. Now, he did post this. B-Dog Shirts on Facebook. He said, yes, because Adrian did love me and was my friend. I was not his when I should have been. Fockers, we got into a fist fight the night before, and he took off. Okay, the night before, he's referring to the night before Michael disappeared. That's the reason I don't think Adrian was there. Not taking up for Adrian because he's a scumbag. But we want the truth. And he took his NHRA team racing jacket. I was robbed and kicked out into the streets where I come from and belong. That is all. Love you, world. They find him unharmed because if I find out anything bad happens, I will heal the individual or individuals responsible. They will be shot 9mm. You know what that means. I can't say it out loud. On God, working with Fruitland PD now. Be advised, I pack heat. Lawyers are hired. So he's saying the night before Michael disappeared, him and Adrian got into a fist fight and Adrian took his NHRA jacket. Is everyone following? Because I promise I'm going somewhere with this. Why would you be hanging out with Adrian the next day that stole your jacket if you got into a fist fight with him the night before?
And to me, this sounds like he's threatening his life, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is.
So you're just gonna, somebody you're threatening harm to, you're gonna go and chill and hang out with all day? That makes sense. Not. Ugh, gross.
They are. They're disgusting. I believe Sarah and Brandon were together all day. Just because that's, we do know that. And I believe Caesar Garudo was somewhere around and Stacy. I just can't say for Adrian. But law enforcement knows.
Friends that was there visiting for like a week or so because he came in from the airport. He was Adrian and he had like kind of an afro. And we went and did kind of a YouTube video that day where we were trying to make music and kind of like a car crash scene. And we were hanging out with him doing that earlier. And then after that, me, Adrian, and Sarah went to Applebee's where we dropped him off there after me and Sarah got a chicken sandwich and a soda pop over there at the Popeyes. Sarah took me to lunch over at Popeyes and she was going to buy a sandwich for me, Adrian, and her. But he said, my family's here. I want to see him. So I'm going to go to Applebee's and go over here and have dinner with them or lunch with them real quick. And then give me a little bit of time to do that. And then you guys come back and get me.
His family can't stand him. Adrian's family would not have seen him.
Agreed. And that little slip up right there. Oh, lunch. Their timeline drives me insane. I will give it to... we know who did this interview. I have my feelings, but I will say that speaking with Brandon actually opened up a lot of things to help with the timeline of these 4 suspects that day, publicly. I don't know all what law enforcement knows, but in the public's eye, this being, I mean, even our local news put this up.
Well, I mean, he says Popeyes, all they have to do is get the CCTV from around the Popeyes.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of that over in the Boise area, that's for sure. Especially when they bring up the mall. I'm curious about that too. So I'm just gonna hold my P's and Q's.
Let it loose.
Thousands of questions, because none of it makes sense. Like, and it's all a lie.
Well, you could tell when he starts stumbling on what they were eating for dinner or what they got at Popeyes. He said it twice, I think, in a row to clarify,
Right, and
to justify what he was saying.
what does everybody get when they goes to Popeyes? What is Popeyes? It's a chicken place.
Mm-hmm.
So of course you're gonna get a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Sorry. They just infuriate me so much. They need to start talking and telling the truth on where Michael is.
When someone who has their feet to the fire starts giving a ton of detail, it's because they're deflecting.
Right. True. I learned that from the FBI.
That's all they do. We have seen it in so many other cases. Somebody who cannot tell you what they did from noon to 5, and they have a ton of stories, it's a deflection. I'm sure you know what you did the entire day.
Up until the point I drove into this neighborhood, yes. And Michael had already been taken. But yeah, I could give you all the details of that day.
I'm sure Tyler knows everything he had going on that day. I'm sure your father-in-law knows. The neighbors know. It's not like no one has talked to them. I don't mean me, I mean law enforcement.
Correct. Oh, yeah.
Hang on one second. I'm going to put something up. And, for people that Jesse said Adrian created an alibi for himself during this day, not that night. Jesse, do you know Adrian or are you Adrian? You can tell me your secret's safe with me. Because you have alibi in quotes. Adrian created an alibi for himself during the day, not that night. For those of you still wondering, the family has not been a focus from very, very early on. Here's the chief saying it himself.
I'd like to note that after a year-long thorough investigation, the family is not a focus of our investigation at this point. They are continuing to fully cooperate with us in all of our efforts from the investigation standpoint. Today, as members of this community, we...
Not a focus.
And I'd like to say something to that as well. There's been a lot of at this point, people speculating on, well, you didn't listen to his words. A year-long investigation. Our entire family, every hair on our head every single person that has been associated with our family that's close to Michael has been investigated. So when he said at this point, is meaning we've been investigated the entire time. They've been investigating us the entire time, because of course the family is always the first to be investigated in a missing person, missing child's case. So I just like to put my piece, or say my piece out on that part.
And you were fully cooperative.
Exactly,
You're like,
still am.
like whatever. I mean, I broke down when you told me about how you were cleaning the house and you came across a shirt of Michael's, and you called the police and said you could probably get another cent from this.
Yep. And they came and collected it in an evidence bag. They were here within 5 minutes.
Well, and another aspect of this is you know, I meet Brandy through a mutual friend and come in to help put the facts out there as speculation was running wild. And I think now's the time to tell people that been straightforward with Brandy the whole time, with anything on what my intent was, what my purpose was, all of that. And bet you golly that Brandy had certain individuals run me to make sure that she could trust me, to understand who I was as a person. And I guess that was the perfect timing to say that.
Yeah. Anybody that I speak with in my circle has been vetted. Now, I learned my lesson. And it wasn't because of leaving.
I didn't have a problem with it. No. And she was suspicious of Chris McDonough. She was like, how do I know you? I mean, you know, my child's missing.
I even had Chris McDonough vetted as well. Like, I want to keep Michael's face out there. I want to keep the facts out there. I have these people offering to help. What do you think? I take everything to law enforcement, everything. Or even when I come on live, when I come to talk about Michael, you know, I ask for suggestions and what can I or what can't I talk about. And it's been a very big learning process for sure. But even if I still, you know, come across somebody locally that seems kind of suspicious to me or keeps reaching out to me online, I take it straight to Fruitland PD.
And you should.
Yes, ma'am.
And go over here and have dinner with them, or lunch with them real quick, and then give me a little bit of time to do that, and then you guys come back and get me. We did that, and in the meantime, me and Sarah were bored just kind of driving around the mall, and we didn't know what to do, so I drove back over to my house to get a water bottle and fill it up with water to bring back over to their house because I didn't like their water. And then during that time,
something else that makes no sense. He had to go to his mom's house to get a water bottle because he didn't like their water. But you just
you're gonna drive about, I think it's about 30 minutes away to go get a bottle of water, and then go back
for a $2.49 bottle of water at the gas station.
Right, correct. That makes sense, especially when gas prices were over $5 a gallon over here, and they all didn't seem to have very paying jobs, if I could say. It's a bunch of horse shit. Excuse me, sorry, Rex.
No, say whatever you want. Like Britt said, in his mom's house is where the dogs got a wind of something. Interesting, right. Brandon. See, it's the smallest thing. Okay, the name of the channel is crime. There's a crime. There's a crime line, which is time. Then you have lies, because you know that criminals are going to lie. They're going to lie. They're going to deflect. That's what it's about. So when people come after me and say, you can't believe anything they say, I got the memo. I understand. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. At some point, they're going to say something that skilled professionals can put together. They didn't go to his mama's house because they wanted to taste her water.
God.
No.
No, it makes absolutely no sense. And my 4-year-old could lie better than that. Yeah.
After that, we came back to the mall and we picked up Adrian, me and Sarah, and then all three of us, Sarah, Adrian, and I, we hopped in the car and we went back to the Fruitland house. I think it was around like 6 or 7 at night. We were in that little Toyota 2016 Toyota Corolla. It's the blue one. So I asked them earlier that day if we could use their pickup to go to my house, my mom's house, and get my Mercedes Benz and tow it back over there so I could work on it if I was going to be hanging out over there doing the taxi business. Yeah.
To bring his Mercedes Benz over to work on it, because now suddenly broke dick Brandon knows German engineering.
Okay, so you leave Fruitland, Idaho. You drive to Boise, Idaho, in the blue sedan, correct? Then you drive to Kuna. And then you drive back to Fruitland to pick up the truck and then drive back to Boise.
Well,
So you drove almost 155 miles that day for... Explain this to me. I'm still curious about this. Make this make sense. So you were back and forth between Fruitland and Boise. How many times on the 27th?
Well, I was curious what the house is. So why did he have to point out that it was back to the Fruitland house? Is there another house that they have?
Right.
That's
another big... we've discussed this, I think, but Levi, we have.
Yeah,
like,
well...
What other house?
Yeah.
What's the other house? That's what I want to know. And how long were they looking for a child that day?
That's scary to think.
Because they were busy all day. And the day of a disappearance, particularly a child, when you have an unusual day, okay? It's one thing if it's Christmas season and you're like, oh, I had to go to this store, this store, this store, this store, this store. It makes sense.
Right.
Or
it was the middle of summer and it was 114 degrees that day. 112, excuse me. Yeah. Make it make sense. It doesn't. They're a bunch of liars.
But that day, they're making up all of these busy errands, the family reunion, Popeyes, the Mercedes Benz, one thing after another. And it's not going to make any sense. Wiz said if you mapped it out, it would look really crazy because she lives in Idaho.
Right. So she knows exactly what I'm saying. She's been to Fruitland. And I mean, driving back and forth to Boise, to Fruitland, to Boise, to Kuna, to Fruitland, I guess. Back to Boise, back to Fruitland. No.
If you're from Oklahoma, that would be like me driving to Muskogee to get a bottle of water, then over to Oklahoma City to do something, then back up 44 to come back to South Tulsa. No. And that's not a particular day.
Right.
I remember going to the gas station. We were probably at the gas station filling up like right at 7. We came back over there, and then right as soon as we were getting the car back to the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood was on high alert looking for the little boy, Michael Vaughan, and they said he went missing right that day earlier, right before we came in with the car we were towing. And then right as soon as that happened, I went out and tried to look for the kid with Sarah. We got in her little Toyota car and drove to the gas station and drove around after we got out of the pickup, and then tried to look in the field to see if he went down by the river or if he could be out just wandering.
Okay, so at one point he says that Sarah stopped and said, "There's a little boy missing around here. Have either of you seen him?" Well, who the hell would ask that? If you had gotten the alert, would you ask anyone that you know, "Have you seen this kid?" No.
Did he forget that there's cameras that the Wondra showed on one of their social medias that shows like the driveway?
Yeah.
Did he forget all of that before he told the story?
He must have, because he's obviously lying.
I mean,
well, and there's this, like Britt brought up, you have so many vehicles in one day. You have so many different areas in one day.
Right.
So many.
And lost, and that's what hit my mind first. And then from there, it was me and Sarah. We went to the gas station, got some milk.
Okay, this is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of this most unusual day, the family reunion, Popeyes, Applebee's, the only water Brandon can drink, which is 30, 40 minutes away, towing back a Mercedes-Benz because all of a sudden he knows how to work on a Mercedes-Benz. At the end of the day, and don't forget, at the end of the day, they were also searching for Michael, according to them. They went to the convenience store to get some milk. Now, these are grown people. Cats don't drink milk. Cats drink water. But they had to go get some milk. With everything else that had gone on that day. And these are broke-ass people.
I'm going to tell you what, if I was doing all that driving back and forth and going all around and whatnot, I would have hit the first convenience store and then went home. I wouldn't have gone home and then went back out. Wouldn't have happened. And where's the Mercedes, Brandon? Did it ever make it back to the Wondras here in Fruitland?
Well, you handed out flyers over there the next day. Did you see a Mercedes in that driveway?
No.
You were there.
And I didn't see a truck either.
It was me and Sarah. We went to the gas station, got some milk, and then did this and that and came back. And then right when
What's this and that? We went to the convenience store, got some milk, did this and that, and we came back. Okay, and yes, Michael drinks milk. Adults are not going to run out at the end of their day and say, "You know what? I would just love to have a big old glass of milk." Hell,
No.
I'm so damn lazy, I'd put water on my cereal before I would get my fat ass out to go get some milk.
Monkey loves milk. With everything. But yeah, I'm going to tell you, the only time I go out to get milk is because of my kids. Like, I'd probably put water on my cereal too. Or just eat it dry, be honest. Yeah.
But for some reason they had to run out and get milk. Now, this is with the German engineering, the family reunion, and everything else.
I work on vehicles. I work on cars, and I've worked on a lot of different vehicles in my time. I won't work on a Mercedes for one because the parts are really expensive, and well, I'm not. Well, same with Volkswagen. No, thank you. I'm not. He doesn't seem like the type to me that's. Well, I could be wrong. We're not going to judge a book by the cover, right? But
His ass didn't fix anything.
yeah,
He's like, I'm going to work on it. What are you going to do? Put a hammer and nail in it? You're an idiot.
Agreed.
You're an idiot. You had to tow it over there. Why didn't you fix it at your mama's house? Wouldn't it be easier? The car was never there. The Mercedes was never brought there that day.
Nope.
Nobody used the truck to tow it over that day.
Exactly.
There was never a truck. There was never a Mercedes. No. And don't ever ask me to fix anything on the car. I go to Firestone just to have them fix a windshield wiper. One time I was going to help. This has been a long time ago. I put transmission fluid into the oil.
Oh, hell. Oh, goodness. You're grounded.
Yeah, I don't mess with cars. No.
That's my passion. I love working on cars.
No, not me. Oh, I love to help, but I'm not very good at it. One time, I was painting something in the driveway, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got paint all over the driveway. So I went to the store and I got some paint that I thought matched the driveway, and I spray painted the driveway to cover it up.
I love you, Brooks.
Yeah, don't ever ask me to do anything in carpentry or on your car. I can pump gas. So that old Dodge Caravan had to get traded in real damn fast.
Oh. I adore you. I'm not laughing at you, I promise.
Well, those bottles all look the same.
Oh, goodness.
Now I know where OJ gets it from.
Yep. Dang it, OJ.
OJ could probably drive better than me. You ought to see when I'm driving. He keeps his head down. He's on his phone, and I see his eyes like clenched, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You've been watching 60 Days In. Your ass is clenched and your eyes are closed. What are you doing?"
That's what hit my mind first. And then from there, it was me and Sarah. We went to the gas station, got some milk, and then did this and that and came back. And then right when we got back, Carson had his pickup next door with a light bar on it. So I said, hey, we need to start this up and kind of go look in the neighborhood and the farmer field and the river. We got to go find this missing person report that just came out,
Sarah Wondra, the woman charged with failing to notify.
So that truck with the light bar was up on the cliff when the sun went down, and that was about 9:14, 9:15 that night. That's when that truck was up on the cliff. Because there was the gentleman that owns that road up there. He had his truck out and had lights on the field as well. And I remember because his was the gentleman that owns the road. His truck was facing the field closer to the house, and then the truck with the light bar was more down towards the cliff where you take the left up onto that road. I can remember that because I was out in that field. I didn't see them.
No. And you would know because you were all over the neighborhood, and as was Tyler. Avi said we have to find a missing persons report. That's another lie.
Right.
Why would Brandon want a missing persons report? We have to find a missing persons report? You're looking for a little boy. You see a child wandering around, that's what you're looking for. But you want a missing persons report?
Hey Brooks, I need to take a minute, okay? I'll be listening, but I'm gonna take a minute. I gotta step away to just. It's all flashing back. It's all coming in, and
Okay,
listening to
I
his
did not
voice.
mean to
No,
do this.
no, it's okay. It's okay because it's for Michael. We need them to talk. We need everybody to understand that Michael is still missing, and they know where Michael is. So I'm gonna take a breath and step away because I'm sweating like a. Whew.
Like a whore on nickel night. I know what you mean.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll be back in a minute, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, love you. Okay. And you know, I hate to do it. Level, but you and I talked about it before the show. There are some things that happen on YouTube because not everyone has they're not here for the right reasons. And that's okay. I don't care who watches what. When the mother of a little boy that has been kidnapped has a simple request, you honor it. You say absolutely. You don't attack the mother. Would you agree, Level?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's them that have the missing child. It's their child. It's their family's brother, sister. It's you have to have respect, and yeah. And I guess I could touch on more of it.
Please do.
Okay, so the request is not to show the name in different segments of gruesome topics or discussion on a channel, but was not told to be taken away when you're discussing a new case or something else as being a benefit to him that is still out there missing, that still needs to be found and brought home to this family. And it's kind of like, you know, what reasons are you there for? At the end of the day, you respect a victim like this and do what they're asking for, not pout and stomp your feet and say, fine, I just won't do it at all. That's not the point. That's not how you should do this if you're doing it for the right reasons. And I guess it tells me a lot about a person, and actions speak louder than words, and the actions have come after the fact. I mean, words were spoken, now actions are being done, and the actions are that he is being left out of good topics and good talk, and so be it.
Well, it's glory hounding. It's trying to be Miss Popular. I mean, I don't know what is going on. Before I did the very first show about Michael, I've been in communication with Brandy since February of 2022. Kat is the one that told me about Michael. I didn't know. As we all know, I'm the last to know everything. And what I saw happen to her, now I did hear Don Wells, basically he said some gruff things on the lab. It didn't hurt her feelings. She was at work. She was encouraging him to call the Cold Case Foundation. But what another creator allowed to happen on her channel, and I shared, yes, I did. I did. Because if there was ever any question about character, I believe it was answered that night. We all make mistakes, and you know what you do? You say, look, I was caught off guard. I was caught off guard. Or, you know what? Here's the whole thing. She already knew what the request was going to be. That's the reason she went to private. So another creator was backstage and recorded it. I shared it. And she struck me. And I countered it. And now she has a false strike on her. This is exactly in this community what we don't do. Okay, hang on. We have a couple of messages that are being deleted. I'm sure they're a mistake. That's okay.
Probably a couple weeks back during my intro. Every intro.
It's in your intro.
Look,
when was the last time you spoke on Monkey?
The last time I spoke was when you came in here. The last time I think I've spoke a few more times about it. I brought it up in there about his case.
This is for commentary and criticism, which goes with the Fair Act of 1973, before I was even born. Here is the whole thing, and it is back up. This is Brandy's family. This is Brandy's son. I would not have handled this with so much grace.
But I don't go deep into it because of respect for the case. But I always show him.
This is the same woman that said, I didn't make much money off of Harmony Montgomery. Harmony is still missing too. Who would say that? Who would say that?
Him in my intros with Harmony Montgomery and Summer.
Right, but do you put out the facts, Miss Daisy? When was the last time you put out the facts? Anything from law enforcement? Just asking.
Why are you being rude to me right
This
now?
is why
I'm not being rude, ma'am. I'm asking you.
Nobody on this case knows any facts.
Nobody on this case knows any facts. Are you kidding me? Every time we do a show, we spill fact after fact after fact after fact, but it's not dramatic for some people. It's not enough of a soap opera. She said, nobody has any facts on this case. Are you kidding me? For those of you that have stuck around for the whole show, have you heard any facts in the case of the disappearance of Michael Vaughan? I guarantee you have. Yes, I've given my opinion. Level, have you heard any facts?
Yeah. for a whole bunch of facts. I got a whole channel. I try to stick to facts. Yeah, I don't know. You know, one of the things is that there's so many missing people that are in this world, missing children, missing adults, missing teenagers, missing um, young adults, that um, talking about speculation and about other things in a case kind of hurts them. And it's real people's lives. And, you know, there's other cases. I don't understand why we have to do soap operas when it comes to real people's lives. And um, I don't know. I don't understand it.
If the family's involved, I get it. I get it. I get it. I mean, you can't talk about little AJ in Illinois without bringing up his family because, well, they're responsible. The first show I did about little Monkey, I said, I don't think they have anything to do with it because, for one, as everyone around here knows, it's about the time. There's no way it could happen. Brandy's at work. Tyler's tending to Buggy. I didn't know them before.
Well, that's the thing is, you know, one of the conversations, and I can say this, it has nothing to do to affect the case, but one of the conversations that I've had with Brandy behind closed doors is that, you know, at the end of the day, this is your son. Whatever direction that you want to go with, meaning on the facts basis, on information that needs to be put out, information that doesn't need to be put out, you tell me. And we can do it how we see fits. At the end of the day, it's Brandy's son. If Brandy wants to bring in the Cold Case Foundation to give her son the chance to be found by the best of the best that are out there as investigators from law enforcement, then by all means, all you can do is give any child, anybody's children, the best of the best. So you give them the best sporting coach, you give them the best school to go attend, you give them the best band camp to go to give them the opportunity. So she's taken that and has placed that into Michael's case and has given Michael every resource and every possibility of any agency that is out there that is willing to help with the best of the best. And I think she would agree with me. I know for a fact that she agrees with me that she has done nothing but given, provided, and taken every aspect and every service that has been brought to her and put in front of her. And one of the things that you have somebody with a big, huge platform, which is out there, and he's part of the Cold Case Foundation. She lost Michael's coverage onto a big channel because of them coming in and investigating, helping to investigate the case. So there's takeaways by it, but at the same time, you're still providing your son the best of the best, giving, allowing people to come in and help. And I think the same offer was made to another person that is on the panel that's on the screen, and there would be no more talk about the case from a certain individual because resources would come in and help, but the family has to agree to them. And at the end of the day, are you going to provide your missing person or your missing daughter, your missing son? Are you going to give them the best possibility of being found or being given the opportunity to be justice to be served? Are you going to take that away from them? Are you going to allow that to happen? There's a lot of good agencies out there, and it doesn't have to be the Cold Case Foundation. But at the end of the day, you can't go back and say, oh, I wish I would have did this. No, you need to act and do it so that out of the best interest, you put all your resources and anybody that's out there to be that wants to help. and for the right reasons, obviously. The Cold Case Foundation in Michael's case has brought certain things into a small, tiny police department that, there's a lot of tiny police departments out there that don't deal with this on a daily basis and have learned and been educated. And those people in that community of the Fruitland community should be so thankful that they are trained now and skilled into a whole nother aspect of law enforcement. And that was brought in by outside professionals teaching them how to do certain things. And I guess that's all I can say. Go ahead,
No,
Brandy.
you're absolutely right. But they had the help of the FBI, the ISP, Mountain Rescue as well. I mean, it's not like it was just Chief Huff saying, I'm going to figure this out. Nope, not one person can just figure something out. You ought to see me look at my bank statement.
And I will tell you, still to this day, they are training and learning new things because of Michael. Still to this day. Because they hadn't dealt with something like this. And I think they've done an impeccable job and continue to do so. And they're very, very determined people. And they're continuing to learn. They're continuing training on how to handle a situation like this. So I will stand by them forever and everything they've done and they continue to do. And I will continue to, if I can support them in any way. Me and Tyler, we just spoke the other night about what can we do to help Fruitland PD. Is there, with our experience, what can we do to help? What can we do to help another family if this ever happens again? So there's that.
It's the whole reason John Walsh started America's Most Wanted. It's the whole reason, what's the woman in Minnesota? She started the Center for Missing and Exploited.
Yeah.
Because her son was taken off a bike ride. I have to find it. That's so disrespectful of me.
Anything you have told me, why are you being rude? You are falling into
no, ma'am. I am being honest.
Been respectful to you. I have been kind, respectful, and I have taken up for you when I didn't even have to take up for you. But you're here to attack me and tell me that I don't put out fires.
I am not attacking you.
Do I claim to be a law enforcement? No. Oh, you came to my panel to get the word of Michael out. I put his face out. I put your face out, and I can't believe that you were coming after me because of Josh.
No. I haven't even talked to Josh. This is me. This is just me.
Why is she blaming Josh when she's clearly attacking Brandy? What level?
Well, the other thing is, and I don't want to misspeak, and it's probably better to come from Brandy. The one thing I caught in that little thing that she was saying is that Brandy went to her to get Michael's name out. But if I remember correctly, and Brandy, I don't want to misspeak, but I'm pretty sure that she had already done some videos on Michael before Brandy adventured over there. And I don't want to misspeak, so I don't know if that's right, Brandy.
I believe that is true. Because of course, because I watch every single thing that has Michael's name in it. Anybody that has Michael's picture, I'm there. I'll watch it. I'll listen to it. Some places I felt comfortable enough to speak, and Yeah, I came up on her panel, and she had shown Michael's picture a couple times and talked about Michael's case. And I figured it's better, you know, you've got a big platform, so here I am to talk about my son. And I want to get his name out there and his beautiful face. And yeah, so.
Okay, Find Summer's Truth said it's Patty Wetterling. She's the one, her
Yes.
son. Yes. Write that name down, Brandy, if you have a pen and paper.
I do.
I think she tried to run for Congress or something.
Well, I need to give that woman a bit of thanks.
Because
I get it.
Last I heard, she runs the Center for the for Missing and Exploited, the NMEC. I don't know the initials. And you don't owe anyone an apology. No one. No one.
I may have been, and I've talked with my sisters about this, I may have been a little hot-headed and I did get a little heated, but I didn't mean any disrespect. I didn't think it was appropriate to have our babies' names running while discussing those topics.
And I say all the time on this show, I said, I'm not going to cross cases. If I see a similarity, I'll say this stands out to me or whatever. You know, just like I quit doing the shows on Fridays where I talk about, you know, all the cases all at once. It overlaps. It's not respectful. I don't do it anymore.
One of my issues is like the comparison of cases, or the only time you speak about Michael is when, well, just look at Michael's case. No, that's not correct, ma'am.
Michael, as you know, was abducted. She did the same thing with Charlotte's case in New York. She said, this is just like Summer's case. Well, how can it be? Charlotte's parents said, we're not leaving the park. Even though you're closing everything down, we're not leaving till we find our daughter.
Yep.
We're not leaving. Arrest me, the dad said. Don and Candace, you know, and I don't even want to talk about them. But the cases cannot be the same. They're not.
Lucian's family. Lucian. They're some very, very strong parents, I'll tell you what, but they didn't leave that part. They have littles too. I don't want to.
Every single night. I mean, I think it's out there. Every single night they would go, and even months after would go and have prayer vigil and be at the park. Every standing minute that they could be at that park, they would be. So.
And some of these channels say that Monkey and Summer are like Athena Strand. They're not. They're not.
Something has been
that's insane.
Whirling in my head since the other night before this article came out. The detective told me it's still stuck. It's going to stick forever. That Michael's case this is rare. What happened to Michael? What has happened to Michael and our family is very rare. But they're not giving up. And they're going to get answers, and we are going to find Michael. So, yeah. It's not the same. We have facts. We have suspects. They have evidence. And as much as it hurts, we're gonna get answers, and we're gonna get justice for Monkey, no matter what.
Well, do you want to continue with this, or we can stop right now?
No, it's fine. And Miss Daisy, you broke my heart when you said that you just wouldn't cover Michael anymore. And you're like Levi said, your actions are louder than words. And absolutely not one single person in this world sent me over there other than my heart and soul. It was me, all me. And that's what I'm going to say on it. So if anybody hasn't heard this, maybe they can understand why.
Brandy does what Brandy wants to do. There's nobody telling her what to do. She'll go to whatever panel, whatever page, whatever place to talk about her son that she wants to.
The only people that have been told me what I can or can't do has been the FBI and Fruitland Police Department.
And Tyler.
He tries. We'll give him that. He tries.
And so when you go into a chat,
he'll call Fruitland PD on me.
And when someone gives a wrench when you come in, let's clarify it. They want to make sure it's really you.
Correct. I've never used a wrench in anybody's channel other than one that I frequent, and it's either a buggy or me pocket modding. I've even timed out my sister once in a chat, and it wasn't on purpose. I don't use them. It makes no deal to me. It's nor here nor there. So there's that. Me, all me.
Lord, you cannot.
This is me, Brandy Christine Neal. I'm standing tall, and right now, love, all I'm trying to do is tell you that
I dox myself.
Not to get in the middle of the whole charade with Don and Candace, because you don't know.
No, I'm not. I'm just
but you're
trying to be.
All I've ever done is try to be good to you, and you're attacking me. You are, and that's not fair. I have never attacked you. People have told me things.
I'm not attacking you.
You are.
How am I attacking you?
The facts. What are you talking about, Brandy?
The facts with law enforcement.
With law enforcement, I've never even said anything about the law enforcement.
Exactly. Put out the facts of Michael. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
The only thing I've ever put out is what you have told me, Brandy.
And what have I told you? Follow law enforcement.
Can I say something?
Great research, Scooter Girl. What are you talking about? All I've put out is what you've told me. You can't read a damn article for yourself. You can't get a pen and paper and write stuff down. You can't look at the very open profiles of the suspects. But then you complain that you think people are looking at you when you're on your scooter at Walmart. You're insane.
Can I ask you a question, Brandy?
Yes, sir.
When you said you had your own theory about me, what the hell does that mean?
And it wasn't theory, it was opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that seemed kind of condescending to me. What the hell does that mean?
I wasn't being.
I mean,
sorry,
go
I
ahead.
wasn't trying to be condescending.
I mean, it seems that you're being a little bit condescending all the way around to me, to Miss Daisy and me.
Well,
like you know
I'm not
something
trying.
I don't know or whatever.
No, I don't know anything.
I appreciate the fact that you're standing up for your kid. And I appreciate the fact that you don't want to be associated with SA and all that.
My
stuff.
son.
That's understandable.
I don't want my son to be associated.
Well, right.
All right. So Brandy's like, my son, not my kid. He's like, and I understand you don't want him to be associated with SA because there was no SA in their house. She's like, what are you doing lumping this in together? It's sick. It's disgusting. It's disturbing.
Oh, exactly.
How much y'all want to bet she's getting emails wrapped?
You have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, where is he? What is he going through?
I'm sorry,
You
sir.
know, say, where is he and what is he going through right now? We don't know that he's not being hurt, beat, or whatever. Yeah, you want to keep the hope up, of course. So he'll come through whatever he's going through somehow by some miracle. But you got to face facts.
Even thinking about those things crush my soul.
Exactly.
To
and
be
I
honest with you.
understand why. I get it. Believe me, we totally get it. My little girl being hurt by who knows who, and she could be in Mexico, where their number one thing is selling kids for sex.
Brandy,
That's their number one money
Miss
maker in
Daisy,
Mexico.
I meant no disrespect. I was just asking out of respect for my son and our family. Please just do not have his name associated with those things. That's what I'm asking. I am very appreciative of everything you have done and continue to do. And this is me speaking my piece. And Mr. Wells, I pray for Summer every day, and I hope that
Appreciate that. I appreciate
you all
appreciate it.
take care of yourselves.
Well, we have to think about all avenues, you know, of everything that's going on, and we got to think about CPS and what they're doing. We don't know that CPS didn't have something to do with our daughter's disappearance, because that's what they do.
Well, that's enough of that. We know for a fact that Brandy was not rude to anyone. And even if she was, it would be 100% okay. Would it not?
I got frustrated. Yeah, I got frustrated. I there was no reasoning. There was no understanding. And that's the last time I will ever speak to either of those people ever. Ever.
Hang on, what the hell?
Good afternoon. Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
Oh, goodness.
Brandy made this, and she's 100% right. If you are part of an interview, not someone that comes on panel, the content is yours. 100%.
Afternoon, YouTube. My name is Brandy Neal. I am putting this video out because a channel that I frequent, Crime Lines and Lies, has been copywritten struck over a phone conversation, my content, on Daisy's crazy critters on the farm. It was a conversation between me and Mr. Don Wells and Daisy. That is my content, and she has no right to copy strike that, because I give full permission for any content creator to use my conversation. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day.
And that's how it goes. Joy Jones says, I want your courage. Two Boston Mom says, Brandy, you have that right. Yes, you do. And this channel could give a rat's ass about parents that are not looking for their children. None. We support law enforcement. We support the facts and the victims. That's what we do. I don't want parents on here rehashing things all the time because they have other stuff to do, like take care of their other children. There is a balance. If you have not noticed, I haven't done a show about the Idaho 4 in quite a while. Well, there's a reason for that. Because law enforcement believes they have their guy. So I am not going to do a show that says they don't. I'm just not going to do it. It's not the right thing to do. You know, I have to sleep at night too. I'm not looking to be the most popular. I'm certainly not looking to do what other people are looking for. That's not my goal. Those that know me know what I'm about. And the channel's not even about me.
Well, I want you to know that I appreciate you. Our family appreciates you. And Monkey's Army, Michael's Army. Please continue sharing his face. Please keep being loud. It takes a lot out of me to go through the past 814 days. The interviews, the meetings with law enforcement, the trying to keep Michael's name out there. I never really had anxiety before the past 2 years. And I truly know what it is now. I didn't understand it before, but now I know what it is. And I'm appreciative of everyone that's keeping the facts out there. And I understand others that with the speculation, but when your speculation is based out of outer space and not with facts from law enforcement, yeah, you kind of get under my skin. So, to be honest,
spinning the narrative causes extra work for law enforcement.
Yes. And they sure have seen their fair share over these past 2 years. And no, they don't tell me everything, and no, I don't get all the tips and, you know, the narratives that some people have tried to spin and stuff. But they're working themselves to death, to the bone. They're never going to stop. Like GD said, no stone unturned.
No stone unturned. Well, let's hear from my favorite co-host, and that is Buggy. No offense to you, Brandy. No offense.
Which one?
That one. That one's for Monkey, and that one for me.
That's for you. We better keep him safe, okay?
Okay. I see a blooming.
A bloom?
Yeah. Me and that monkey car.
And what do you see if you see Monkey's car?
Yeah. And he's that way or that way. The which way?
You like that one?
He's getting closer.
Oh, Marshmallow.
You're sad about Monkey?
I am very sad about Monkey, my love.
Yeah, me too. I miss him.
I miss him so much.
Let's draw him a picture.
Yeah, let's draw him pictures. More pictures? Lots of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's throw a picture at him and put it on the sidewalk. He see it.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. I make a sign for him. I make a mermaid. He loves mermaids.
He loves mermaids. Okay. All right, well, let's go get the chalks. Mommy's got to go get them.
My favorite little niece.
I know. She said, he's getting closer.
She misses him so much. Moments like that it's the daily. She got her Halloween costume yesterday. She's gonna be this Mike Morales Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yep. So she is full body suit, everything, gloves all the way down to the toes. It's funny because Monkey dressed it up to be a minion just to make her happy, and she picked out her costume with Daddy and said that she's gonna be Spider-Man to go get Michael and bring him home. So,
well, whenever you can share a picture with us, let us know.
I will. She sits in his bed. She puts all her stuffies up there with his. Sometimes she'll bury herself underneath all of them, and all you see is feet. And she'll tell me that she's sad. She misses her friend. She misses Monkey. She's always talking to him. There's been a couple times I've walked in and I'm like, who are you talking to? She's like, Monkey. Oh. And there's a brick wall, okay? There's just one brick wall that happens in a day. You just stop in your tracks. And I would give anything in this world for them to be playing together. It's not fair. Brandon, Adrian, you all need to start talking. You need to come forward. You need to cooperate. Tell me where my son is.
It's your choice between life in jail or life in hell.
Exactly. The prosecuting attorney, one of them, told me the other day, the first person to talk gets the deal. Those were their words. Miss Lana Westbrook was standing right next to me when that was said.
First to talk is the first to walk.
Yep.
Natalie Holloway's mother and father, Dave and Beth, have waited 18 years for answers. They finally got it, but their daughter was killed in Aruba, so there won't be any justice for her.
She had me in tears listening to her.
But they know America's different.
Yeah. She's sleeping in. I'm lucky. Y'all are lucky. Your ears are being saved.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for the dinosaur roar.
Yeah, yep. Well, she decided that at 4 a.m. Elsa needed to come crawl in bed with her, and Elsa doesn't crawl in bed because Elsa wants to wake up Mommy and Daddy. Yeah. Do you have more to go through, Miss Brooke?
Nope. This has been a great show. And I think basically we are just all on the same, we're all on the same page. We want justice for Monkey. We want justice for Brandy and Tyler and the kids. We want the community to be safe. And that's where we stand.
Did you get a chance? Did I send it to you, Brooks? Blues Words. We were up on another channel. I think I sent it to you.
What?
Purple Phoenix. I asked if it was. I asked Purple's permission if I could share it with other creators because I want people. It's not just Buggy, There's Bubba and Blue and Grandpa. And Blue came to me the other day. It was last week. She's been writing. She likes to write like her mama, and her words, she asked if she could put them out publicly because she wants these people that know where Michael is to hear how much she's hurting and what they did to her that night they took him away.
I did.
It
is absolutely amazing.
I still can't.
When she wrote the letter, I think it was the first year he had been missing.
Yeah.
And because she understands.
She does. And it's hard. It's hard to watch her be so strong but be hurting so much. My entire family. And we all get up every day and life keeps going.
There was a whole point in time when, like even the hatred at their schools and stuff because of negative energy coming from social media and things had influenced them. They've been through a lot.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. And one of the things I always kept telling you, Brandy, is they're just kids. This is their life, their real life, and they're hurting just as much as you are.
Exactly.
And they need help and guidance and along the way as well. And nothing's ever going to be the same as what it once was.
No. And I'd give anything to have it all back. Anything.
Now, one of the biggest things is you've tied your boots on from day one, went out there searching, put up posters, put up flyers, got onto social media to try to make awareness for somebody to bring them home. Went to multiple different platforms, been run over by evil people, and just illness that people will do to somebody of a missing person, and then come to other media and do the same, not giving up, providing the best resources to help find them. Those are things that you have to be proud of. You look back and you say, I did everything that I could. There's no what ifs. You put your boots on. You did what you could do. And, at the end of the day, that takes a very, very strong person, because a lot of people wouldn't even want to get out of bed. So,
trust me, there's days I don't.
I know.
You know those days.
But you have to. Because the kids need you. Tyler needs you.
I think a lot of times I need them more than they need me. They're my
But
reason.
I think they've realized that and have come together.
I think I heard feet hit the floor. Uh-oh. She lit. Maybe it was the cat.
All right. Well, I want everyone to say a prayer, say a thought, however you do it, for the family of Michael Vaughan. I want to thank all of you for being here. every day. You all are here for the right reasons. I want to see a ton of blue hearts in here for Michael Vaughan. Because no child should be outside playing and get snatched. We know there are family situations. We know that. A little boy was missing in North Carolina yesterday. He was with his non-custodial mother. This is a totally different situation. I'm not saying it's not serious. I'm saying this is totally different. So let's end the show on the right note. Support for Brandy, Tyler, the children, law enforcement, because essentially it's all in their hands. And they have had a lot to go through. So I want to say thank you so much for Brandy for coming on.
Thank you.
We know you have a lot going on. Levels, thank you for never, ever, ever giving up on this case. Ever.
Never will.
Becoming an amazing friend to all of us.
Facts.
And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I will see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Love you, Brooks. Thank you. Bye,
Love
guys.
you.